Okay, got some of the official tools. Got some 9/16, got 14mm ratchet extension, and another 14mm and a pry bar. Let's see. So first, don't need that. First, we're gonna make sure the seats are moved up so we have plenty of room. And then you can see I have these straps here. My wife made them. It makes it real easy to, it's actually looped around this thing. Makes it easy to get the seat out, because I want to be able to do this quickly and easily, so I can change the car from camping mode back to regular mode. All right, here we go. So first you got to get the seat out. Loosen it. There's a couple of hooks underneath. Come on, baby. Why has it got to be difficult? There we go. So move it forward a little bit, but don't take it out, because we have to take this nut off right here. So let's see, that's 14mm. That's the one that holds the middle seat belt. So that's in the way. So that has to go in order to get this half, the seat half off of here. So take that out, undo the strap. Now that's free. I tend to put the nut back on there so it doesn't get lost, but it doesn't matter. I use the extension because it makes it easy to do it by hand. Alright, that's that. So now the goal is to take off the two seat backs. When you leave the seat here, it helps kind of support the seat a little bit. Alright, put that there. Undo this. So what happens is we got to take this stuff off, because there's bolts under there. So that's why I have this little pry thing, but you could use almost anything. A screwdriver, doesn't matter. There's three of these bad boys right here. You can use your fingers. Now that I've done it a few times, see, there's 1, 2, 3, and this one has 1, 2, 3. Once you do it the first time, these start getting whippy. And then there's a little Velcro. And now we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Alright, so that, climb right in here. Or you can do it from the front, it doesn't really matter. That baby loosened up. You do want to keep these pretty tight when you put it back, because it's holding the seats. It's kind of important. Just like that seat belt clip. Very important. Alright, we loosen up all of those and remove the bolts. Then you pull these back a little just to help the seat get out when we take the seats out. Go around the front. If you don't put the seats up, you got to take these off first because they kind of get in the way. So take that out. Basically, there's a weird little sensor here Some people say it has something to do with the key. That's what I read online. I think there's another one hiding back behind over here. Yes, I feel it. I don't know what they do exactly. Nobody's really sure. But if you're going to put the shelf mode in like I'm doing, this thing's got to go. So you just kind of go in here until you get it to come loose. Is it stubborn? Of course it's stubborn. There we go. See, it's got two little things. And I just sit this over here. Everything seems to be just fine if you leave it over there. There are no issues. Alright, so now the time comes to take these brackets out. I thought about like attaching a 2x4 to this to make a platform. Like you could turn it down here, put something across here. That's one way of doing it, to hold up the boards for support. But I elected not to do that. So I'm going to take out all these brackets. I got six 14mm bolts. These aren't needed. Yeah, I keep them tight. You don't want them falling off. 4, 5. Six. Bunch of stuff. Okay. And then, so basically we fold these back and the shelf will fit here. So let me grab the next stage. Box O parts. And the beam. There. We got the nice brackets. These go on either end, like so, like so. And these are the bolts that go with it. And I also happen to have 3 of these little fake seat belt things, so the seat belt thing won't start beeping and complaining at you when you're driving. Got those on eBay. I think they called them something, but each one of them says do not use. So you decide if you want to use them or not. Alright. So I'm trying not to, you could just use this as storage if you felt like it, but you don't want to take any chances on this wiring. You mess up with the wiring harnesses, you're going to be sad. So that's why I'm building this shelf right here. That will come in there eventually. And let me get a a knee pad to kneel on. Alright, so the plan is to take one of these shorties and put it in the rearmost screw. Slide that in there. And another shorty. Put that in that one. These are brackets for solar panels, technically. You can buy them on Amazon, and then I use an angle grinder to chop off this part and make it a little deeper so that it would sit low enough. That was the trick. You can make any bracket. You can make something out of angle iron, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Or like you said, you could use those original brackets and make your own beam. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's strong enough to support the platform and not fall or cause any other trouble. You don't want it doing that. We try to straighten this up close to the way we want it. Hopefully that's right. That's tight enough. Okay. And of course I ground those down too far, so I needed an extra plate. If you do yours right, you won't need that extra plate. It turns out I did, because this is my prototype, so you get what you pay for. With a prototype, there's always a little something that doesn't work right. So. Alright, so here's the beam. You can see it's got these notches. They go toward the back. This bolt goes here. You can see how it's countersunk right there. And I have like I used a router to cut this out about 3/8. I probably could have made it about 1/4 instead, and then I wouldn't need this extra plate right here if I had made it a little smaller. But it's too late now. So this goes in here so that it fits flush. And then these are put on purpose. These are like guides that fit into the holes on the main platform over there, which along the back there's 2 bigger holes, and they fit right here. It helps guide it in later and makes so that the screws fit in the right place. So this goes through here, right here, and then you try to center it as best you can, about like so. Alright, so we take this plate here, put it on there, slip that into that area, take this plate, put that into here, try to get it about, well, with my measurements, about 3/8 of an inch maybe of space. And I have some lock nuts and lock washers to put on from underneath. As you can see, you can sit on this 2x4 just solid. There, that's tight. And the other side, the same thing. Like so. problem. Lock nuts are great, but you have to crank them on the whole way because they're stubborn. Even if they get loose, they won't come loose. Alright, so that is the main beam is installed. And these are folded back. And now the next part is going to be another one of these shorty bolts. It's going to go down right here when we take the shelf. Put that in. So you got to get the main beam in before the shelf, because otherwise the back of the shelf gets in the way of getting underneath to those bolts we just did. As you can see this fits down in here. Fits right perfectly in there. These feet rest very solidly right there. And we get this in. That was designed so you can see how it's kind of off center, but that's what matches the hole, so that's what we do. Right, now the shelf is not going anywhere. That's the whole idea. So this you can put whatever you want on it. It'll be underneath a little bit. You can put some long things under there, shoes. The cover thing can go under there when you're not using it. Alright, so now gotta install the legs onto the main platform. So the platform has the front part and a bunch of carpet. And you can see how the carpet doesn't go all the way because there's a bunch of holes here. And those holes are needed to attach to the main beam, and these are where those two pins go, but they don't go through. Alright, so the legs go on here. And let's see, this is the left. I have everything marked. Alright, now is the tricky part. Getting this bad boy in there. So now the goal, the front feet fit down on the floor there. And this part fits right in there. Here we go. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. All right, now as you can see, there's plenty of room here. It's a little odd. This is flat and this is angled. The reason this is angled is because the back platform is angled. So in the end, it ends up being perfectly flat. That's why it's up 13 or 14 inches or whatever. So now let's put away all the stuff into a box. Don't want to lose any parts. Throw all the extra bolts from the car into this box. Put that in there. Very nice. Perfect. And there's this funky piece. As you can see, it's a little high, but this carpet was here too, so it ended up being, I cut that out just about perfectly. But it also turns out this is kind of weak. See that? That's kind of sketchy. There's a couple of good supports under it, but not right there. So if you cut the original ones straight, you don't have to do this funky thing. That's what I did. You don't have to do that. You can cut that straight and cut this straight. Fit it right in there. And look at that bad boy. That's just nice. Get the tools out of here. We pull the carpet back. Voila. It is beautiful. Looks like it's ready for sleeping. See that? It's just about as flat as it can be. So it aims up when you're sitting on a flat surface. But, so you basically have to just aim the front down. I don't mind sleeping on an angle. As long as your head's up at that end, you're in good shape. As long as your head's higher than your feet, you won't be crying. So, and there we go. It's a platform. And it's about as solid as it gets. 3/4 inch plywood. There's no messing with 3/4 inch plywood. So, I don't know how long that took. Maybe 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. Depends. I get faster every time I do it. So, and this was some recycled carpet from Home Depot. They get a big sheet for like a 6x8 sheet for like 20 bucks. And then we just cut it in half basically and let this extend out back. So now there's lots of room, plenty of sleeping. Put some air mattresses in here. That's about 39 inches. That's the skinny part. So we have two 20-inch camping mattresses, or you can buy one twin mattress at Walmart, but it's about this thick. The way it is here, if you do a thin camping mattress, you got headroom, and then you can sit up and get dressed and do other nice things like be civilized. I don't see any point in making a camping thing where you only have 2 feet and a big shelf. You'll be sorry because you have to crawl in there. That's not okay. All right, and that's about it.